From the director of Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2005, The Edge of Tomorrow, Jumper, Doug Liman brings you the Roadhouse in 2024. Spoilers are ahead. I don't think you're going to be spoiled on too much, but you've been warned. Just a heads up that this isn't going to be an in-depth review, really. I'm going to be all over the place, just kind of talking about the movie, why I think it's kind of silly. So just know if you're looking for an in-depth review, this probably isn't the video for you. This movie, the best way I can describe it is Fast and Furious meets the original Roadhouse. I think that's the best description I can give it. This movie does not need to be remade in any which way. The 1989 original movie is great on its own. It's very 80s, it's very fun, and it doesn't need to be anything more than that. Why this movie is being remade, you got me. Dalton now is a man who is down on his luck. He's a former UFC fighter who accidentally killed his friend in the octagon. He gets hired to protect the Roadhouse, kind of like the original movie, and that's pretty much it. He just punches a bunch of people. And of course, that's the thing in the original one, but you know in the original movie when Patrick Swayze kind of teaches everyone how to fight, hey, this is what we're going to do in the bar, this is how we're going to make the bar better, you know, this is kind of my plan and layout for how we're going to get from A to B to be a better bar. Remember that when they actually explain stuff? Well, not here, not in this one. Jake Gyllenhaal just tells the young guy, hey, when he pulls out a knife, you back up and you pop him in the nose. And after that, that guy was the best fighter you could possibly imagine, because that makes sense. Also, a guy gets eaten by a crocodile. I'm not joking. This movie is absurd in so many ways. Yeah, the original one was absurd in its own ways. It didn't like jump the shark until the end of the movie, the original Roadhouse, where you have like the big shootout and whatnot. The 2024 version of this movie, it gets kind of wonky about halfway through. The first half, it kind of had me, like it was grounded enough. I was like, all right, even though there's not a single person in this universe that has a cell phone, which doesn't make a lot of sense because in today's world, if some dude was beating the you-know-what out of someone outside of a bar, someone's going to be filming it on their phone. That's just the reality we live in. And how no one has a phone in this movie, other than the bad guy. He has a phone, he throws in the ocean. But I mean like the patrons of the bar. No one really has a phone, no one records any of the fights, nothing. It's just odd. I'm not mad about it because phones ruin a lot of movies in a lot of ways, but still it's supposed to be set in 2024 and I don't know, just found that odd. So of course, Jake Gyllenhaal's character saves the bar in some way, I guess, from beating up the bad guys, but at the same time he kind of doesn't. Like all the bad guys are gone and the bar's in disarray, but it's still standing. I don't quite get Dalton's character in this. He doesn't really have an arc at all. He kind of starts and ends at the same spot, which I found so odd. Him coming out of his low state into rising above the odds, becoming a better person. Like I thought they were really going to do, oh, you know, when he gets really angry, he kills people because he did that in the octagon. But now he knows not to do that. Like he's going to be a better person. He's going to get pushed to the limit by Conor McGregor's character or some other bad guy, but he's going to spare them. Pull a Batman and spare him. He's going to overcome his fears to know that he can still fight, not kill anyone, and be a better person for it and walk off into the sunset with Ratcatcher Girl. But nope. As far as the character of Dalton knows, he kills the Conor McGregor character. Straight up does. I know there's a little stinger at the end where he's not dead. He walks out of the hospital and that's that. But as far as the Dalton guy knows, yep, he did him in. I just find it odd. His character really didn't go anywhere. Maybe that was the point. He just accepted who he was. But at the same time, you think there'd be some growth there, but nope. I thought for sure he was going to kind of ride off into the sunset with, what's her name? I just called her Ratcatcher. Ellie. I thought for sure they were going to ride off into the sunset kind of like the original movie. But nope. He just gets on a bus and goes away. We don't know what happens to her at all. Also too, when Gyllenhaal's fighting Conor McGregor and the other bad guy for 25 minutes, was she just standing out on the beach the entire time because Gyllenhaal was just like, stay here, and all of a sudden she just pops back up out of nowhere? This movie's so dumb. I really don't know who this movie's for. I'll be completely honest. I know no one who likes the original movie is going to like this one. Maybe just people that like dumb action movies, like the Fast and Furious movies, or like whatever other movies, James Bond or something like that. I thought it was going to be a little bit more grounded in a sense, not flying off boats on the roofs and crocodiles eating people and whatever else. I know in the original one you get in a big shootout. Okay, but that was almost every 80s movie, so I can look past that. Also found the fight choreography to be just kind of average at best, but it also felt very odd at the same time, very video gamey. And I did read in the trivia on IMDb that the directors tried to innovate a new fight technique for film. They called it a multi-pass technique to make the brawls look more more realistic, but at the same time, the best way I could describe it, it looks very video gamey. You just gotta, I guess, see it for yourself. It just felt off though to me. Probably the most random cameo in this movie is Post Malone. I was not expecting to see him at all in this movie. He is one of the fighters in the beginning of the movie. I never thought I'd see Post Malone in a Roadhouse movie, but here we are. Another thing too that kind of bothered me about this movie is the music used. It just didn't feel right, but I did find it kind of funny at the end when they want to have Enter Sandman by Metallica start playing. They have a cover band do it. It's not actually Metallica. It's so bad. Maybe Metallica's hard to deal with. I know they've had issues licensing their music and stuff over the years, so maybe they had issues doing that. But at the same time, I mean, if you can't shell out for the real Metallica song, maybe don't do it. Pick another song. I don't know. This movie's weird. I really don't know. As I said earlier, I really just don't know who this movie's for. Big action people, but then again, I don't think there's enough action. People that like dramas or drama action movies, I don't think there's enough drama in this, like relationship drama or anything like that, personal dramas. Is it the worst thing I've ever watched? No, not by a long shot. But is it good? No, I wouldn't say that either. I think it's a little long too, even if you're just bored. It's a 2-hour movie. It could have been trimmed down probably a little bit. All right, I think I just about had it for this disjointed weird review of this movie. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts out there about this movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Somewhere between? Did you enjoy it at all? I want to know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Till next time, guys, everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching. This movie's weird. Take care.